My dear brothers and sisters, in today's gospel we see that Jesus is healing a person who is having dropsy, and it is on the Sabbath day. That is especially important, Jesus healing on the Sabbath day. When we read Bible, the four gospels, we can see Jesus is performing miracles. Especially, he is healing the people on Sabbath day. It is 7 times he is healing the people. And when we look at the gospel, we can see in the same gospel, the gospel of Saint Luke, that Simon's mother-in-law is healed, that is on Sabbath day. And a man with a withered hand, he is healed, that is also on Sabbath day. And a crippled woman, she is healed. And a paralytic at the Bethsaida pool, and he is healed. And a man born blind, that is we can see Saint John chapter 9, he is healed. And healing of a demon-possessed man in the synagogue at Capernaum. And today's incident, that he is healing a person with dropsy. So 7 times we can see in 4 Gospels, Jesus is performing miracle. He is healing the people on Sabbath day. And we know in today's Gospel, Jesus was invited by the Pharisee. And he is one of the leaders of the Pharisees. And he was elected. He invited Jesus on Sabbath day. And these people of Jewish people are having plenty of laws regarding their day-to-day life, especially on Sabbath. And for Sabbath, they don't cook food. And for Sabbath, if someone is invited, they'll be preparing food just the previous day. And for them, the Sabbath is on Saturday. And they were not even cook. And they will be cooking for the Sabbath on just on the previous day, that is on Friday. And they were following strict rules and regulations, and in a way they were ruled by different rules, and they were always governed, there was always act according to the different rules and regulations. And we know, especially for a common Jew, they usually follow the Pentateuch, the first 5 books, the Torah they call, and this is the book of the law. And for a Pharisee, apart from this law, they were following for a minute things, they were following these rules and regulations, and it is called as Talmud. They were following, apart from this Torah, these 5 books, they are following a special interpretation of these laws, that is called as Talmud. And at the time of Jesus, there was a community called Qumran community. They were more strict than these Pharisees. And it is said that we know that an ox or child or something, any beast that is falling down in the pit, we usually help and it is rescued. But in the case of this Qumran, this community, they say that even the beast should not be helped on the Sabbath day. My dear sisters and brothers, what Jesus is severely criticizing, they were just governed by, they were just acting upon these kinds of laws and rules. And what happened there? One thing is lacking. Lacking is nothing but they were lacking the love. The love is lacking, and the rule, always the law is governed by them. So Jesus is criticizing, and the law of Jesus is nothing but the love. The rule is nothing but the love and compassion and mercy. And my dear brothers and sisters, in today's our life, in today's Christian life, it is a challenging message. We must pray. We must go to the church Sundays and ordinary days. We must attend the masses, Holy Mass, reciting rosaries, or attending online services. Everything is good. It is the basic of spirituality. These are the basic of spirituality. But we must have we must deepen our spirituality. How we have to deepen our spirituality? It is in love. We can read in the Bible, Ephesians chapter 3, verse 17, how our faith must be shown before us. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 17. We read like this. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 17. We read like this. And that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, as you are being rooted and grounded in love. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters, Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. Christ will dwell in your heart through faith. How? As you are being rooted and grounded in love. And we can see a beautiful passage again from the 1 John chapter 3 verse 17. 1 John chapter 3 verse 17, we read like this. 1 John chapter 3 verse 17. We can read like this. How does God's love abide in anyone who has the world's goods and sees a brother or sister in need and yet refuse to help? And we can read one more passage, that is from the letter of St. James chapter 2 verses 14 to 17. St. James chapter 2 verse 14 to 17. We read like this. St. James chapter 2 verse 14 to 17. We read like this. What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but do not have works? Can faith serve you? And we continue 15. If a brother or sister is naked and lacks daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm and eat your fill, and yet you do not supply their bodily needs, what is the good of that? So, faith by itself, if it has no works, is dead. Praise the Lord. This is what happened in the case of the Pharisees, in the case of the Jewish community at the time of Jesus. They were following many rules. They were following many laws and regulations, but the love, the work, the action was lacking in their life. My dear brothers and sisters, this may happen in our life too. As I said, we pray well, we recite rosaries, we do other prayer service and all sometimes, but your faith, how it is checked, how it is tested. Your faith is tested. You know how it is. Your faith tests in your family, in your community, in your society where you live. If you are praying well, but if you are a partner, you are a husband, you are a wife, you are praying well, you are attending all the ministries, reciting rosaries, then a question, how you are loving your partner, or regarding your children or your siblings, or are you able to show compassion those who are in need, or your neighbors, or those who are around you? We feel the poor, needy, or maybe they need your presence, your words, the words of love, the words of compassion, the words of mercy. That is what Jesus said. Rules should not be ruling around. Only the laws should not rule. The rule of Jesus is nothing but, the rule is nothing but the love. And we can see in the first Christians, in the life of the first Christians, we can see a growth in the first Christianity. People were added always, and we can see a flourishing. It was a flourishing community. What was the reason for that? We can see here, Acts of the Apostles chapter 2 verse 44 to 47. What is the reason that the community was flourishing? The early Christianity, the number, it is said like this: all who believed were together and had all things in common. And we realize this: they would sell their possessions and goods and distribute the proceeds to all and any had need. We continue 46. Day by day, as they spent much time together in the temple, they broke bread at home and ate their food with glad and generous hearts. See, praising God and having the goodwill of all people. And day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Day by day, the Lord added to their number those who were being saved. Day by day, Lord added to their number. That is through their sharing. through their love, through their compassion, mercy. My dear brothers and sisters, as we listen to the word of God, Jesus is healing a man with a dropsy on the Sabbath day. Tells us, and to each one of us, we must be governed by love. We must be governed by charity in our family, in our society, in our parish, in our working places, wherever we are. That is the identity mark of each Christian. That is not our name, not our dress code, not what we are wearing the rosaries. It is not that it is an identity mark of a Christian. The Christian identity mark is nothing but the love. How you are speaking, how you are talking, how you are behaving. The love, compassion and mercy should be our identity mark. Let God bless us.